Alright, let's try that again. Can you all hear me now? I think that's the first time anyone's endeavored to shut me up. Cool. Okay, let's try...
Technical difficulties on our end. Whoops.
Okay, so... taking that from the top, I had the distinct pleasure or honor or something of bringing you all Hachiemon. Hachiemon is a mascot character for the Kansai Telebroadcasting Corporation, also known as KTV8 in Japan, and as a game, it's a GBA game where Hachiemon is a physics grapple platformer, where instead of using a bionic arm or a grappling hook or anything like that, you use his lips. So let's get into this. Alright. We're ready to start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. The Hachiemon has a lot of little cutscenes. If I had been smart, I would have done as an incentive all cutscenes, but I didn't, so here we are. Here in the first stage, you're going to see right away, there are two methods of conveyance in this game. There is rolling around, which is pretty fast. It's a lot faster than walking and lets you bowl through enemies like this. And there's also grappling things with your face, which, as I understand, I am legally enjoined from telling people they should just try at home after the last time I ran this and the incident therein. So don't try this at home. But this is the general feel of the game. You just go typically from left to right, trying to get to the ramen cart at the end of the level, and you have to collect a certain number of lips on the way, which is indicated at the bottom of the screen. And then you go to the next level. There are 22 levels. And we're gonna see just a lot of rolling, a lot of grappling things with my lips. I need that, actually. Thank you. And every now and then a little bit of bouncing around our butt. That thing will take me to a special stage I don't want to end up in because it's slow. That thing will breathe fire on me, which I don't want. But my personal experience with this game pretty much comes in the form of discovering it in a lucky dip where I just played random games and just falling in love with it like 7 years ago now. Anyway, we're already at our first boss, which is this thing. This big chungus. Most bosses have 6 hit points and then have a place where smooching or rolling into them will do 2 damage and everywhere else does 1. So here's 2, here's 1, 2, 1. He's done already. And then he just kind of slides across screen and starts yelling at us. I don't actually know any of the story of this game. I want to say an individual by the name of Barleybap at one point did a playthrough where they commentated what was actually going on. I still haven't found time to like watch it and figure out what exactly the plot is. What I do know is you are the old lip egg here, and some evil force has stolen the lips from everyone else in the world and you're trying to get them back. Don't ask me why. This is just how Hachiemon rolls. Literally in some cases. Level 3 is a water level where we don a really cute swim ring and everything is floaty. Every now and then, if there's just an entire runway with no enemies on it, I can do what I call a floor lip slide, where I smooch out forward and then just point my lips down and grab the floor and yeet myself forward with my face. Again, don't try this at home. We can do a ceiling lip slide here, which is the same logic, with the ceiling instead of the floor. Imagine that. Another thing is that you can do really weird things where you push yourself out with your lips and then like curl around obstacles. You'll see that a couple of times, mostly in the mountain climbing stage, where we go mountain climbing with her lips. And yeah, chat's saying it's kind of like Umahara Kawase. It is. Except far less cruel. A lot, like, sillier. And with your lips. Stage 4 brings us to, I believe this is actually Kyoto, and we encounter what I call the Hachiemons, which are these. They definitely have mom energy. Fortunately, we can just kind of slide across the top here for most of this. You know, take a damage boost every now and then, just stay up here and not deal with any of these shenanigans. I am having a heck of a time, though, with the, cycles, so I'm gonna go up here and grab the safety health. So these are a problem because, you can kind of get past them, but you smooch them and they just kind of, like, giggle in place, and then they're in your way, and that's not fun for anyone. Alright, so the next boss. You can see, by the way, in the background, the Kansai Telebroadcasting Corporation's, like, home office. And the boss here is an office building and TV tower? I don't know if anyone here has ever fought a TV tower with their face. I don't recommend it, it hurts. But my understanding is this tower wants Hachiemon to go back to work. We don't have time for that, let's fight. This one, the weak spot is not quite anywhere I can hit easily. I missed the first shot, so I might actually... Yeah, there we go. The weak spot is to smooch the bomb that comes out. So even though I missed the first attack, hitting the crit on the last hit made up for it. I didn't lose any time. The TV tower is defeated. And for the most part, every time Hachiemon defeats a boss, he kind of makes friends with them. Usually. There's one exception that we'll get into later on. Anyway, this is out of here now, so bye, weird segmented TV tower. It was nice knowing you. I do just love this entire aesthetic of everything. This is the one boss stage where we have a little bit of movement to get out. Not much. There we go. Between every stage there's a slot machine. The problem is, I can't read Japanese, and this slot machine is not match 3. It's match 3 thematically by whatever is displayed in the reel. There's no way in heck I could do that, so I just kind of mash A and hope I don't win. And you can win up to like 300 food that takes literally 30 seconds to count up. So you can just lose a PB quality run because you won the slot machine jackpot. Now we introduce ice physics. The funny thing is this thing right here would actually like cancel the ice physics, but it's slow, so we don't do that. We do something even more unwise and go through this dangerous as heck level with the ice physics. This area is a little dicey. I typically play it safe in marathon runs. And that's why. Anytime you can walk away from that level, it's a good time. It's, this is the Reaper for early runs that are promising. Like, you have RNG with the Hachiemons, and then you can actually quick kill the TV tower. I didn't manage to get it. And then you get here and die to the ice physics. So I tend to play it very safe in a marathon run. This is far less silly of an ice level. You can just kind of go up here and not worry at all about any of the death pits. This is basically a Starman. I can't be interacted with by anything while kind of invisible. Is it like an edutainment thing where if you form a complete sentence you win? I think that's what it is, but not entirely. It's more like there's like food there, and if you match up 3 food items that are kind of the same, you score? I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the forest. Unlike some games that have a forest, there's no PvP here. Aha, Dark Souls reference in License-a-thon. Can you believe it? Usually I just barrel through those spikes, but marathon run safety. We do get invincibility here. We can just lip slide across and roll through this evil Hachiemon that explodes, and we're done. So far my slot machine luck has been pretty good. I haven't won any giant bonuses yet. This level, every single lip that I need to pick up is either out of the way or invisible. It's kind of a nightmare for routing purposes. Here is the samurai power-up. I now have a sword. I won't be swinging it, because swinging it is slow. I'd rather just roll into things. But I, in general, move faster. I might be swinging it. Alright, well, time for the backup. I kind of needed that. Where is that backup? Oh, I know where it is. I haven't messed the route up on this stage in so long. But it's all good. There's an extra one right here. Like a 2-second time loss, it's fine. I'm gonna take the checkpoint here. I've been skipping these because it takes time to actually do the checkpoint, but we've got a boss here. And this boss can just kill me with RNG. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Anyway, welcome to the bees. Hachiemon is gonna get stung like 18 billion times. Poor Hachiemon. So while I'm kind of just going through this scene, there was a run, I think 2 runs ago, where the runner said that if we hit 500 bucks by like midday tomorrow, they'll come back and drink an olive soda on stream. I just wanted to shout that out as like possibly the most curious incentive I've ever heard. I don't know if they'll be allowed to do that. I'm not going to promise anything for the License-a-thon staff, but...
I think that it seems to be it will I think it'll happen. Also, I would like to point out that I will be hosting during then, and I will be drinking some water from an olive jar. If we hit 500 by that point. So
we'll figure it out, whoever's running on Texas.
And incidentally, I believe that the person who helped set up the previous run was in fact Magius, who when we hit $500 will be doing the Seto Kaiba versus Yugi duel and prove that Yugi's grandfather's deck has no bad cards.
Yeah, that's the other incentive that I've heard about. I can't even make that joke. It sounds so mean-spirited to say I'm here for the olive soda. I'm here for both of them.
Olive soda and grandfather's deck.
Yeah.
$59. We can guarantee that it will happen.
Hell yeah. So here we become a mole. Just gonna barrel through here. I do need to pick up lips, and I kind of flip-flop on where I feel like picking up lips here is faster. Because they're all hidden in boxes, and it's all very weird. I've been experimenting lately with like grabbing this with the like facelip boomerang, which is a hell of an unhinged ability that I don't use nearly often enough in this run. Just being able to detach your lips and throw them at the enemy. This next level I'm kind of a fan of because you get a power-up you never get anywhere else in the run. It's just kind of power-up heavy, there's like 3 of them. You get this, and you become tiny. I just think it's really cute that they realized you wouldn't be able to see this on a GBA screen, and they put a little arrow showing you where Hachiemon is. And then, you become this. Shoutouts, by the way, to the fact that Hachiemon actually has a defined butt. Just want to point that out for people. You get to live with that now. The lip egg butt crack. Actually, speaking of which, every now and then the health indicator on the bottom left will spin. He's got a defined butt crack on the health indicator too. This level is another water level. It actually has my favorite power-up in the game in it. I don't know why it's my favorite power-up in the game. It's just so silly the way you use it here. But we're in like floaty zone again, which is fine. And the initial bit of this is just going down, which again, we're floaty, so trying to figure out how to strap weights to this lip egg is something I've still been working on. Anyway, here's the power-up. We're now a fish with giant lips. I don't know why, but I love it. And this does make you swim faster, but I don't swim. I just spin. I don't know of any fish in like the aquatic marine ecosystem that moves around by doing this, but you know what? I'm glad this is here. No swim, only spin. Yeah. So coming up next, we have a stage I call Bad Rafts, as opposed to Bad Rats. I typically shut up for this because I need a little bit of focus, and usually in a marathon run, I start talking during this, and that's when I go down into the bog and die. So let's see, if you've got anything to shout out, now's a good time to do it.
I have nothing to particularly shout out in terms of incentives. However, there is a bid war going on between the Master Killer and Method Man boss in Shaolin, Wu Chang Shaolin style, which will be happening in the last day of the marathon. So, it's his mask. Also, just in general, we're raising money for the general. Thanks again for supporting the Lifestyle and Transgender Law Center. Your donations are helping fight for the rights of all trans and LGBTQIA+ people. Anyone you know is in need of legal resources, you can visit their website for more information. Your donations will help support programs such as the Border Butterfly Project, which offers humanitarian legal support to hundreds of LGBTQIA+ asylum seekers at the southern American border.
Alright, let me just call out this level. This is an auto-scroller where the entire thing is Death Pit. But you know what that means in a speedrun. We ain't doing it. That is so dangerous. And then we're gonna just roll over here. Typically we go into this boss fight, 1 health down, but it'll be okay. And this is a boss I call 2.5 fish. Even though I determined last time I ran this that it's probably closer to 2 1/8 fish. Anyway, here's the 2 fish. Lovely and majestic creatures they are. Here's the half of a fish, or the 1/8 of a fish. I don't know, chat. What ratio of fish do we have going on here?
Fish, 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 fish.
So, the 2 fish can do a number of things. We basically want them to do that spit, because it's the fastest. Everything else is some kind of time lost RNG, and the main strategy for this fight, I kid you not, is don't fart. And what I mean by that is, if I stand still for long enough, Hachiemon will start sweating. If I don't move for another 2 seconds after that, Hachiemon will actually turn around, point his butt at the screen, and fart. And you would think, well, that's cute, that's just a silly little kind of Uriel Idol animation. Once he starts the fart, like most people, you lose character control. So you get stuck with your butt sticking out just in time for the fish to attack you. It feels somewhat deliberate and well designed. But yeah, the main strategy on that fight is pray for good RNG and don't fart. See ya, fish. I will try to sneak the idle animation in somewhere so y'all can see it. Unfortunately, idle animations and speedrunning typically don't go well together. Also in a marathon, I am so cautious when doing the walk to the end there, because once at Handheld Heroes, if anyone remembers what Handheld Heroes was, I think it was, I beat that boss and then fell in the water and died and had to fight the boss again. It's not good. Alright, mountain climbing time. We don't need any climbing gear, we have weird robotic lips, I guess. But yeah, we can see doing all sorts of shenanigans to curl around obstacles. Something I forgot to mention, by the way. If you watch carefully, I painstakingly avoid rolling, like just persistently. I will go 3.5, 4 rolls, and then I'll stop and start the roll again. And the reason for that is if you reach the 4.5, 5th roll, Hachiemon will actually get dizzy. He'll just stop rolling and he'll be stunned for a moment. It's a really cute animation. I will also show that animation off during a segment of things where I'm just waiting for something. Unless y'all want to see the fart more. I don't know. Things I say in marathon runs. Anyway, I'd like to not die here. These guys just sort of grab you. You move. They're RNG. Like where they go and what they do and everything. Anyway, let's carefully get that. We have one obstacle left. And we're good. That was a little scary. That was a 20 in the slot machine. 20 is pretty good. Like I said, I think the highest I ever got out of there was either 300 or 500, and it was such a long count up that it literally just ripped the run on the spot. This is the shortest level in the game. Grab these wings, and then just kinda go up here. You can do that in 8 seconds, I think, is my fastest idle time for that. 10's actually a little clumsy. This stage leads up to probably the most random boss in the game. This is just an entire death pit. You have the wings. And I'm sure there was an intent here on like having to carefully navigate this somehow. But we can just roll our butt into things, you know? So we're gonna do that. This coming boss is, I don't know. I've bounced between calling this a couple of different things. I think, for the moment, I'm calling it the conga line. Yeah, this. The main trick to this, most bosses take, 6 hit points of damage to take down. This one, I have to take out all of the conga line except the weird one in front, and then do 6 damage to it. It kinda bites. And it's also just completely random on how it moves. So
Would now be a
what was that?
now be a good time for a donation.
Yeah, this is just a whole mess. Go ahead.
Ace Pirate Yara donated $15. What's this? A giant honeycomb completely devoid of olive soda? Why, that's something my old dusty pirate chest full of bees can't fix.
Thanks, Yara. It's,
And that is for Wu-Tang Shaolin style donation, I believe, was sent specifically towards boosting Method Man. in the Wu-Tang Show and stuff.
Yeah.
While Kid Dwarf Master Killer is still winning this one. If you want to change it, then you have up until the run.
Alright, so having finished Heaven guarded by a conga line or a centipede, I don't know. We're now going to do an office building, and this is like the most blasé basic level, and because of that, it's also the one I've died the most in, because I just get cocky and don't watch what I'm doing. So I have taken to doing marathon runs of this a little carefully. Because there are, I think, 7 specific obstacles here that can just ruin you. Go. And you have 3 hit points, and if you're just being a little not cautious, things can go bad. We're just gonna do that safe. I don't know what office building this is. Like, the KTV-8 office is in the background of stage 4. I don't know if this is, like, inside of the KTV office or what, but we're definitely here. This one has some cool, like, grappling stuff going on. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this stage. We're getting pretty close to the end, though. This run has 22 stages in it. The actual game has 24. When you finish the game, 4 bonus stages open, and I've considered trying to do like an all stages or 100% run, but one of the stages is a troll level that is like a 6.5 minute auto scroll. I kid you not. And that's just not fun to have in a speedrun, I don't think. There's no way to skip it either, because it's the entire like raft thing from stage 13, but there's no gimmick to be had there. You just have to sit on the rat the whole time. On the rat? On the raft. Anyway, having finished the office building, we go to what is probably the most obvious place to go from an office building, and that's one rung early. That is the Wild West. That is what comes after an office building, right? I think so. But anyway, this is the last full, like, region of the world. 2 stages and then a bunch of plot exposition. And then, the final stage, so we are coming down to it. We do have one of the weirder bosses shortly. Oh, I wanted a jackpot. I think that was 150. So, real talk, I was thinking initially of saying, like, I would donate for, like, the biggest slot machine pull I got. And I'm glad I didn't say that, because I don't have 150 bucks to donate, unfortunately. But, if you all do, feel free to donate it in my stead. Anyway, there's the dizzy animation. I found a good time to sneak that in. And then we pick this up. And now we're angry? I'm gonna take the save here, because in my practice, this is the only boss I died on. So I'm gonna take the save to be safe. We are this weird red marshmallow now. We're spicy, and we're gonna utilize that spiciness on this coming boss. Here are the evil Hachiemon. So you can tell they're evil because they have pointed sunglasses. That's a telltale for being evil. And here's this robot Hachiemon with guns with lips on them riding a burnt marshmallow horse. This was in the Wild West, I'm sure. Twerking, by the way. Why do the guns have lips? Don't ask. Whoop. So this boss is weird because it has a weird, just sort of window for iframes. That was a pretty clean fight. And we have a ton of exposition coming up. This is where the entire plot gets unraveled. And this is where I typically do a couple of short shoutouts while I'm mashing through all this. Let's see. So, this has been a game where a couple of people have come in and done some runs of it. I'm pretty much the only one who's just gone totally sickos mode with it. But we've had Garby the Glitcherist and Seer Sky come in and do some runs of it and find some tech that I was able to borrow? I think borrow is the right word here. So shoutouts to them. We have Koztelek did the initial runs of this. It kind of formed the basis for the route I made. Like there was already a run of this when I found the game, which is a rarity for me. And then very recently, Neverdoors did a TAS of this that's really good that I'm still taking some stuff from. And I think I've pretty much shouted out everyone who's touched this game in a speedrun context in this little window. Odd thing about this particular cutscene, usually when I mash dialogue, I hold the A button, and I actually hit up on the D-pad because any button will continue the dialogue. But when I go to that one little scene, it's all A. You have to hit A to proceed for some reason, so I have to change how I mash in the middle of this scene. Go figure. Anyway, perfectly laid out. We finish stage 21, and now we head on to the final stage, stage 22, where we figure out what the hell happened with all the lips. Also, I love the lip violence in that scene where Hachiemon just starts beating on that yellow creature with his lips, and to indicate having been hit, the yellow one just bends. I don't remember. People call it mode 7, but it's not mode 7 on the GBA, it's just sprite scaling and rotation. Yeah. It's really cute and kind of silly. Anyway, this is just kind of a boss rush where we fight these weird ball snakes. And by ball snakes, I mean these things. They follow the same rules. The head is the crit zone, and the rest of the body is not. This pole in the middle is grappleable, which is the most annoying thing in the world. Like, literally, just the most annoying thing in the world. So I tend to stay at the bottom and just kind of play that a little carefully. Mode H. Never heard of it. There's an audio cue here on the third beat. There we go. Just to get a little bit earlier on this. Sometimes it makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't. We can do that same audio cue here. Get down here. No, not down there. There we go. I don't think I'll have time to do the... Yeah, I will. There's your fart. I lost time to show you all the fart. Anyway, here's the final boss. The ball snake creature things are apparently part of a Hydra. And we're going to engage in aggressive negotiation with the Hydra. And the Hydra is going to provide a counteroffer to our offer of taking all the lips back. So we're going to have to prepare a statement of a... Oh, never mind. I think we're just going to fight now. So this is exactly the same as that other fight, except the things in the background, if they line up with me, will just, like, shoot fire. Because that's a perfectly normal thing for whatever this thing is to do. Actually, it probably is. It's a Hydra. You know? So the problem with this is the Hydra can just decide to go across the bottom of the screen horizontally in a way you can't really avoid it. Not to mention where it's going is completely random. This is actually a really bad fight. Time is coming up real soon, by the way. It's when I land the 4th hit on this thing. Well, hold on, 3rd hit? Yeah. Come here. There we go, time. That, in a whirlwind of activity in about 33 minutes, is Hachiemon. Let's see, while I skip through all of this, I just want to shout out, like, the hosts have been shouting out the charity, the Transgender Law Center, all day today. It's a great charity. I'm definitely 110% behind all that. Especially since about a month and a half ago I started transitioning myself. I've been out as non-binary for like 15 years. And I finally kind of just like made made the change in all of that, I guess. And, you know, for trans folk, it's a time to be going through it. So, any show of solidarity, of support, is super helpful. I love these scenes, by the way. Even if it's as a little of a show of resistance, it's just showing up to play games to gather, you know, a couple hundred or hopefully a couple $1,000 for a charity, doing the work of forming community and legal support for trans and LGBTQ individuals. We need so much of that in the world right now, because it is my hope, it is my belief that we are kind of in the throes of, like, the final death throes of some forms of hate. And any show of resistance to get us through that by demonstrating that we will not tolerate hate or prejudice or pushing down a group of people will accelerate our movement past the hate that we battle right now. So, thank you all for showing up. Thank you for the almost $500 we've got for the Transgender Law Center already in day one. And, you know, it's as they say, until we're all free, none of us are free. So continue the resistance against hate and push back against bigotry and pushing groups of people down for who they are. And that's as serious as I'm gonna get here. Enjoy the photo of Hachiemon and his girlfriend and their butts out. Go ahead and take it away, host and Tempestra.
And that ends it for today in the marathon. So, coming up next is a quick raid that we will be doing, and bit of a spoiler / forewarning. The person we will be raiding will be in fact showing up for the run of Scooby. We'll be raiding Coley, who I believe is going to be running in the Scooby-Doo and Mystery of the Castle very much later in the marathon. But as of right now, I believe you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy, because coming up after that will be us going away. You can watch whatever you want, and we will continue to raise funds for the Transgender Law Center tomorrow.